Hey everybody, this is Mr. G with another quick tutorial on Paint. Today I'm going to talk about using selections in Paint. And how does that work? Okay, well first I'm just going to just going to fill the screen with a color like red, for example. And I'm going to use the selection tool. I'm going to just click selection. And when you select something, as soon as I'm going to click and hold, okay, when you click and hold, it drags out a square. When I let go, now I have the option to grab, and I can actually move that whole square. So I can just grab multiple squares, and I can grab, and it's actually moving them. So see, look, there's the same square I just moved. I click, and once I click again, it lets go, and then I get the moving arrow. As soon as it turns into 4 arrows, that's a move that object. Kind of fun to cut and grab objects like this. There are different kinds of selection tools. For example, there's the Freeform Selection tool, which lets you move in any shape you want, and then moving it, kind of like a horse, but you can't see it because the background's all there. I'm going to delete some spaces. So I'm going to do freeform selection and make kind of a big area of white here. And I'm going to use a paintbrush. And I'm just going to paint a few different things. I'm going to make my paintbrush bigger with Control Plus. If you guys don't remember that, it's a cool feature. Control Plus, and I'm going to just draw some set of colors here. Okay. And then I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm going to use right now it's on the freeform selection. Remember, to do it, you just select which one you want. And I'm going to select around there. And I can drag that wherever I want. Or I can hold down, I think, the Control button. Oh yeah, I love this feature. Control, when you hold Control, it lets you make a copy of what you are selecting. Okay, and then if you set transparent selection, it will actually make it see-through to whatever the background color, I guess, is. So in this case, the color number 2 is white. So, for example, if I were to highlight this area, it'll only take the red. See how it just took the red? Okay. And if I change the background color to, let's say, I'll change it to red. Now, if I were to select, now it just moves the white, and it makes the red invisible because I set the transparent selection. And so those are some tricks. So now I'm going to start with a brand new. I'm just going to say new, and I'm not going to save. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a I don't know. I'll draw something here. I'll use a shape. Use the shape tool, and I'll create a little maybe a little robot or something here. Okay, so I've got an eye. Now I'm going to select the eye, and I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to drag a copy of the eye out. So I have the same exact size and shape. And then I will draw a little robot mouth, a little nose, and let's see, make a neck. Now the great thing about the selection tools is you can move things around, and I can copy. So let's say I want to move it. Well, this is pretty easy to, oops, let's get selection. Okay, so now I can move it. Now, right now, I'm actually moving the white background also, depending on if you have transparent selection selected or not. And you can't see that because the background is all white. So let's fill the background here. Okay, and now if I select him and move him, and by the way, the reason this is red is because the background color is red. And I can move him, or I can set this to transparent selection. And so it's making the red the background color. Let's change the background color to black. Now when I move it, it just moves the white part, which is actually kind of cool. Now I'm going to hold Control. I'm going to make copies. And then I'm going to go select, and I'm going to select all of these. And I'm going to make copies. And I can keep holding Control, and I'm not letting go of Control. And then I'm going to highlight all of these. Hold Control. That is pretty cool looking, right? So making patterns and having fun is something that you can do with Paint if you have a little patience, and you can easily make something that's really interesting by just making a pattern out of it. There you go. Okay, so there's a few things you can do with the selection tool. I mean, I'm just barely scratching the surface on what you can do. I'll just do a random here. I'm just going to make a messy selection here. And now when you move it, chops it. Now, it all depends on if you have transparent selection on or transparent selection off. And I'm going to undo that. Control Z. There you go. So you learned a couple little tricks today. Control plus and minus. The pluses that are by your keypad on the right of your keyboard, if you have a number pad, and those make the brush bigger or smaller. Your selection tool, transparent selection, freeform selection, rectangular selection, and holding control. And I think if you hold other keys, you even get some other options. Like, for example, let me see, what happens when you hold Alt? I don't know. I'm not sure what happens when I hold Alt. I just know that when I hold Control, it makes copies, which is the funnest thing ever. Okay, thanks a lot. Enjoy your day. Have fun playing with this program.